Welcome to Retwist and Rise. Today I will be showing you how to dye your clients' locks, okay? A lot of our clients, they like to, do the blonde tips or maybe get their hair totally blonde or a little bit of a sandy brown, but this client, she wanted to go back to black, okay? And so, of course, we're going to start at the wash bowl. I'm going to put the towel down on her shoulders and tuck it in. That way we don't get her clothes dirty or our cape dirty. And because I'm using dye, I made sure she kept the cape on. So gloves, of course, you always want to read the back of the dye to make sure you're doing the proper steps for that particular dye because every dye is different. But this one is really just that you put it on the locks and you go. So what I do is, personally, I wet the hair first. That way it was nice and saturated. It could easily soak up the dye. And then I go through, I pour some on my hand, and then I rub it on the lock. The reason why I do this rather than just brushing it on the lock with the dyeing brush is because locks are hair strands clumped together. So if I'm not rubbing it in with like firmly with my fingers, a lot of those strands would not have any dye on it. And then I'd have to go back and dye her hair a second time. And I learned this through trial and error, doing it wrong before when I would do someone's hair blonde. Some of the strands were still black. It just was a mess. But when you use your fingers to get that dye in there and work it in there, you see me working my fingers, that is going to get you a perfect dye every time. And that's why we're doing it in the wash bowl instead of, sure, it would be more comfortable for me if I did it in my chair, but then I wouldn't get the precise color that I need. Okay. So yeah, rub that in with your fingers. And so now we're putting the plastic bag on, and this helps with processing time. The reason why we're using a plastic bag is because she forgot her cap. And not all dye comes with caps, but I was like, you know what? I know what to do. We got a fresh plastic bag, no problem. And now I'm going to put her under the dryer for 20 minutes on medium heat. That way I could continue to look at it and I could gauge it. If you just went on high for 30 minutes, you might over process, and that's what we don't want. So now I'm going to rinse out the dye, and then I'm going to shampoo and conditioner hair just as I would do regularly with another client if it just was a simple shampoo. And I just use this time to talk to her. How's she been? How was her trip to, I believe she went overseas. I want to say Italy. She had an amazing time. And of course, if your client is a little bit more on the quiet side, you can just let them enjoy this time. I definitely did give her a nice little scalp massage with the tips of my fingers because we do not use our nails. That's the old school way of doing it, and it damages hair follicles. We use our fingertips and we massage, okay? We massage. So I'm making sure to rinse all of that product out. That way we can get the crispiest retwist. And it's nice to offer the dyeing because then their hair just looks really good, okay? And now we're back in my chair after I rinsed her out, and I'm putting oil in her hair. It's one that she brought, and I'm giving her another nice little head massage. This just helps the experience be nice because all she asked for was a retwist and dye, right? And so it's not like she got a style that's going to take me 35, 40 minutes. So I took the extra time to give her a nice scalp massage, and I have R&B playing nice and mellow because we never know what our clients are going through. This might be the only time they've gotten to sit down all week, okay? And you see how crispy that retwist came out. Exactly. And she was super happy with it because we're getting her locks back healthy. That's the whole point. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Make sure you do for your client.